In the 80s and 90s, fast food chains were pretty fun and creative. Unfortunately, most of them couldn't make it through the ages. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the most iconic restaurant chains that have faded into history for some weird reasons. Starting with number 1, Sambo's.
You can go to Sambo's day or night. The food is good, the price is right. You can eat dinner anytime.
And you can dine for $1.99 at Sambo's.
It was a popular chain of family restaurants known for serving breakfast all day. Founded in 1957 in California, Sambo's quickly expanded across the country and grew to over 1,100 restaurants in 47 states, offering affordable pancakes and coffee to patrons from coast to coast. Although the word Sambo originally came from portions of its founders' names, Sam Battistone and Newell Bonnet, but it immediately called to mind the story of Little Black Sambo, the children's book from 1899 about a dark-skinned Indian boy, some mean tigers, and a whole lot of pancakes. Locations were decorated and murals inspired by the tale. The menu included dishes named after other figures in the book too. The name and decor sparked widespread criticism and legal challenges. Organizations filed lawsuit over Sambo's name, leading to a decline in popularity. By 1982, financial troubles forced Sambo's to sell most of its units and filed for bankruptcy. The last remaining Sambo location changed its name in 2020 to Chad's after its owner. Next on the list is a Mexican fast food chain.
With our new celebration sampler, there's a dozen ways to celebrate.
Chi-Chi's boasts of a combination of culinary innovation and unfortunate circumstances. Founded by former Green Bay's Packers star Max McGee and restaurateur Marno McDermott in 1975, Chi-Chi's defied expectations by bringing Tex-Mex cuisine to downtown Minneapolis. Amidst this cultural shift towards spicy and flavorful foods, Chi-Chi's quickly gained popularity, becoming synonymous with dishes like chimichangas and fried ice cream. By 1986, the chain boasted an impressive 237 locations, riding high on the way of Mexican cuisine at the time. Things were going so well until a series of challenges emerged. By 2002, the number of locations was reduced just to 144, and the company filed for bankruptcy in 2003. A month after, Chi-Chi's was hit with the largest hepatitis A outbreak in American history. A hepatitis A outbreak linked to the tainted green onions served at Chi-Chi's near Pittsburgh further tarnished the chain's reputation, claiming the lives of 4 individuals and sickening 600 others. And by 2004, Chi-Chi closed all 65 of its remaining restaurants.
On the road around the corner, here's the place to go. The orange roof of Howard Johnson's, join the folks who know.
Dating back to the 1920s, when Howard Deering Johnson opened the first Howard Johnson's in Quincy, Massachusetts, the chain initially gained fame among Americans, with a diverse menu offering burgers, crispy fried chicken, milkshake, and ice cream sundaes. Howard Johnson quickly grew to more than 1,000 stores and made it the largest fast food chain in the US at the time. This was until the early 1990s, when changing consumer preferences and aging infrastructure led to a decline. Despite several ownership changes, including a sale to Marriott, Howard Johnson struggled to modernize and ultimately dwindled in numbers. The last remaining restaurant closed its doors in 2017, marking the end of a nearly century-long legacy.
Open wide, America! Burger Chef's got thick, juicy, terrific burgers for you. 100% all beef. We really work hard to serve them hot and delicious.
Burger Chef was founded in 1954 in Indianapolis by brothers Frank and Donald Thomas. Their restaurant quickly gained popularity thanks to its innovative flame broiler, which could cook up to 800 hamburgers an hour. Additionally, Burger Chef introduced the concept of the Works Bar, allowing customers to customize their burger with various toppings, a revolutionary idea at the time. Before the McDonald's kids meal was even a thing, Burger Chef introduced the Fun Meal for kids, complete with toys and engaging packaging. Burger Chef's catchy slogans and memorable advertising campaigns helped solidify its position in the fast food market, becoming the second largest burger chain with 1,050 locations. However, Burger Chef faced challenges in the form of intense competition. Rival chains like McDonald's and Burger King adopted similar cooking methods and began encroaching on Burger Chef's territory, leading to financial losses. The chain's decline was further intensified by a tragic event in 1978, known as the Burger Chef murders. 4 employees were found dead after a suspected robbery, which still remains unsolved to this day. The negative publicity surrounding the incident dealt a severe blow to Burger Chef's reputation. Ultimately, in 1982, Burger Chef was sold to a competitor and gradually phased out, with many locations converted into hearty restaurants. By 1996, the last remaining burger chef had closed its doors, marking the end of an era.
You get more to like at Burger Chef.
You know, there's a saying, good artists copy and great artists steal. Perhaps this was the idea behind the White Tower, a hamburger chain that opened in 1926 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. White Tower had White Fortress-like buildings and a menu that closely resembled White Castles. They even hired employees away from White Castles to know all of their secrets. In 1929, White Castle sued White Tower in Minnesota for unfair competition, and White Tower was forced to end its use of similar buildings and slogans. The restaurant offered a simple menu, including 5-cent hamburgers, donuts, coffee, and soda. At their peak, they had 230 locations, most of which were planted in downtown streets. Unfortunately, White Tower didn't update its operating model for car-crazy post-war America, so the chain declined, and the last location in Toledo, Ohio, closed its doors permanently in 2022. Next, we're going to talk about Showbiz Pizza.
Share the fun, come on and share the fun as Showbiz Pizza plays.
Opened in 1980 as a competitor to Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz Pizza became a huge success because it capitalized on the popularity of video games. Showbiz Pizza restaurants entertain guests through a large selection of arcade games, coin-operated rides, and animatronic stage shows. And at its peak, Showbiz grew to 280 locations. Both Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz thrived until the video game crash of 1983. Capitalizing on the downturn, Showbiz Pizza acquired Chuck E. Cheese, leading to a period of confusion. Eventually, all Showbiz Pizza Place outlets were rebranded as Chuck E. Cheese by 1992. And after 4 decades, the legacy of Showbiz Pizza remains a symbol of resilience and innovation in the entertainment sector.
Steak and Ale welcomes you back to the old country inn.
Come sup with us at Steak and Ale, we're hearty dining about.
This takes me back to the old days.
In 1966, Norman E. Brinker introduced the first steak and ale in Dallas, Texas. The concept behind steak and ale was an Old English theme, reminiscent of 18th century country inns. Their signature offering included tender, juicy steaks, a broad selection of beer or wine, and a variety of pasta, chicken, and seafood entrees. Most locations share a constant aesthetic with wood grain exteriors, which many subsequent businesses retained after Steak and Ale's demise. The brand continued to grow, boasting over 250 locations. However, subsequent spin-off into S&A Corp in 1982 and its eventual sale to Metro Media Properties in 1988 marked periods of transition for the brand. Despite attempts at economic stability, in 2008, Metro Media's bankruptcy filing spelled the end for Steak and Ale, closing all 58 locations and leaving a void in the restaurant landscape.
Hi, this is a Shakey's Pizza Parlor, just like the one near where you live. We serve fun here at Shakey's, also pizza, and what great pizza!
Shakey's Pizza used to be a big deal in America, but now it stands as a relic of the past. It was opened in Sacramento, California by Sherwood Shakey Johnson and Ed Plummer, who wanted to make a pizza place that stood out. Shakey was the one who made Shakey's special. He loved jazz music, so he had live bands play at the pizza place. Families enjoyed coming to Shakey's because they could watch the pizza being made and sing along to the music. Youth sports teams would go to Shakey's after their weekend games, where the kids could eat pizza and have fun, and the parents could drink beer and socialize. It became really popular and expanded to 500 locations throughout the United States. But over time, things changed. New owners came in and people's taste shifted and more pizza places opened up. By the 2000s, Shakey wasn't as popular and many of its stores had closed down. It's a reminder that even big ideas can fade away in the fast-paced world of restaurants. Next is Henry's Hamburgers.
Henry's on the road. Drive into Henry's place, that great family place. For dinner, lunch, or snack. Wow! You'll keep coming back. Wow!
Henry's Hamburgers was a popular fast food chain in the 1960s, with over 200 locations, and was founded in 1954 by the Bressler Ice Cream Company, named after Henry Bressler. They became famous for their 10 burgers for a buck deal in cool drive-up buildings. Henry's became a beacon of fast, delicious meals, offering a simple menu that revolved around its signature burgers. Based in Chicago, Henry competed with big names like McDonald's and Burger King, but by the mid-1970s, they had faced problems. Changes in ownership and tough competition made it hard for Henry's to keep up. They couldn't afford big ads like their rivals, and they didn't come up with new ideas. There were rumors about using cheap horse meat in burgers too, which hurt Henry's reputation. This, along with stores doing badly, caused the chain to close down. Today, Henry survives in Britain Harbor, still serving up tasty burgers and keeping the old school vibe alive. It's a reminder of the past and fast food history.
Kids, we know that going to Sandy's is a lot of fun. But did you ever take a really close look inside?
Founded in 1958 as a competitor to McDonald's, the founders, Brick Lundberg, and his partners were willing to own a McDonald's franchise, but they ended up operating the first Sandy's drive-in, serving classics like hamburgers, fries, and milkshakes to hungry customers in the American Midwest. Sandy's drive-in quickly expanded to 240 stores. Despite initial success though, Sandy's faced legal battles with McDonald's and struggled to adapt to the changing fast food landscape. Unfortunately, in the early 1970s, Sandy's story came to an end when they merged with Hardee's, leading to a gradual rebranding and eventual closure of most Sandy locations.
Sandy's puts the fun into eating out.
Next on the list, Wetson's. In the 1950s, the McDonald's brothers fast food in California caught the eye of Herb Wetson, and with the help of his brother, he turned a closed coffee and donut shop to the first Wetson's in 1959 in Levittown, Long Island. Wetson's was known for its signature, the Big W Burger, and catchy slogan, "Give a hamburger a break." Their design and menu were similar to McDonald's, but with orange circles instead of golden arches. Their system, like McDonald's, helped Wetson grow to 72 units across New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, McDonald's and Burger King entered the New York market, posing challenges for Wetson's. Declining business led Wetson's merging with Nathan's Famous in 1975 and closing all locations.
The two of us working, and the two kids, we eat out a lot. I used to feel guilty till we found Bill Knapp's.
Bill Knapp's, an American family restaurant chain, operated from 1948 to 2002, leaving a lasting legacy in the hearts of many Americans. Founded by Clinton B. Knapp in Battle Creek, Michigan, the chain aimed to provide decent food at reasonable prices with friendly service, attracting families across the Midwest. From its humble beginnings as a convenient meeting place for families to its expansion to over 60 locations in Michigan, Ohio, Florida, Illinois, and Indiana, Bill Knapp's became synonymous with quality dining and cherished celebrations. However, shifts in ownership and marketing strategies in the late 1990s led to challenges, including alienating loyal customers with modernization attempts and departures from the original made-from-scratch philosophy they were used to. Despite efforts to reverse that course, including restoring the original menu and decor, the chain filed for bankruptcy in 2002, once again marking the end of an era.
Am I your man, Mr. Dumbass?
The name is Dumas.
That's pretty thick-headed, but nothing compared to the rich, thick, frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer.
Founded in 1919 by Roy W. Allen in Lodi, California, capitalizing on increasing mobility, A&W drive-in restaurants pioneered the drive-in concept, allowing customers to dine straight from their cars. And for decades, A&W served fantastic frosty mugs of ice-cold root beer and juicy burgers. Their signature in-house brewed root beer, with its creamy and frothy texture, set the chain apart and became a staple of American culture. In the 1970s, A&W had more stores than McDonald's, with a peak of 2,400 locations. But problems back then, including a lawsuit and franchisees refusing the new modern-style franchise agreement, caused the chain to struggle and for branches to close. J.A. Morrison opened the first Morrison's in Mobile, Alabama in 1920, pioneering the cafeteria dining concept that became popular in the southern United States. At its height, Morrison's operated 151 stores in 13 states, offering more than 100 food items prepared homemade in a unique cafeteria-style dining experience. Morrison's cafeterias began as a racially segregated business, serving only white customers and employing black men as waiters. Despite pressure from civil rights movements, Morrison's refused to desegregate its restaurants, leading to protests and arrests in the 1960s. However, by the mid-1990s, the cafeteria chain struggled to compete with changing customer preferences. Piccadilly Cafeterias acquired Morrison's in 1998 and converted most cafeterias to his name, but kept Morrison's name active for his mobile location. Next on the list, Dogs N Suds was a cherished part of an Illinois-based chain renowned for its hot dogs, burgers and root beer. Founded by Robert F. Bosdyke and his son, Bob, in 1962, it quickly became a beloved restaurant, embodying the spirit of casual dining and camaraderie. Dog N Suds thrived, capturing the hearts of locals with its frosted mugs of root beer and post-movie hangout spot. Dog N Suds was a chain of drive-in restaurants that expanded to over 600 units. However, the local Dog N Suds closed its doors in 1970s due to a lack of corporate support for the franchise, promoting its transformation into an independent family restaurant. While it may have faded from the local dining scene, its legacy endures as a nostalgic reminder of a bygone era. Now, if you have been part of these nostalgic memories, then please click the like button and let us know in the comments what are some of the places that you enjoyed but are now gone forever.